This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, opening statements began Tuesday in the trial of a Corinna man accused of endangering the welfare of a child after his infant daughter suffered a drug overdose.
Our A.J. Douglas reports.
27-year-old Zachary Borg is accused of unlawful furnishing of drugs and endangering the welfare of a child, along with other charges, after his then 11-month-old infant suffered an overdose in June 2021. Penobscot County Assistant District Attorney Chelsea Lenz talked about the circumstances of the case during opening statements.
The evidence is going to show that Mr. Borg was using fentanyl with some other people in his home, and that some of this fentanyl was misplaced or lost in the house, and that just a few hours later the next morning, his infant daughter, Isabella, suffered a fentanyl overdose.
Lenz later called William Sheehan from the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office to the stand. Sheehan testified that police searched Borg's home following the reports of the infant overdose. Police reportedly found white powder residue in several spaces around the home, including the baby's pack-and-play and a pink teddy bear. The powder substance would later test positive for fentanyl.
We'll find that the evidence supports beyond a reasonable doubt each element of these charges.
Defense attorney Harris Matson argues that the parents quickly responded to the infant's emergent medical needs. The defense attorney listed the 11-month-old's medical injuries, arguing the injuries were not life-threatening.
Isabella Borg's respiratory rate was 16 breaths per minute. Now, that rate is considered low, but not critical.
The defense emphasized that it cannot be determined how close the infant came to death, if at all, because the positive fentanyl test did not provide a quantitative measure. More witnesses are expected to take the stand Wednesday. In studio, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
An Augusta man has pleaded guilty to assaulting an officer at the federal building in Augusta. According to court records, 41-year-old Derek White entered the Edmund S. Muskie building on April 20th and approached a security screening station staffed by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Records indicate White pressed a security officer against a wall and put a knife to his throat. A second security officer drew his weapon and ordered White to drop the knife. According to court records, when White refused to comply, the officer fired a single shot, striking him. White was taken to an area hospital and subsequently charged. He faces up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Meanwhile, a Maine man who joined rioters at the U.S. Capitol has been convicted of 11 charges, including assaulting, resisting, or impeding police officers. Prosecutors say Kyle Fitzsimmons of Lebanon charged to the front line on January 6, 2021 and assaulted several officers. According to court records, Fitzsimmons hurled an unstrung bow like a spear at a group of law enforcement officers. The object hit an officer in the helmet and bounced off. Records also indicate Fitzsimmons pulled a detective's gas mask away from his face while another rioter sprayed him with a chemical. He then released the mask, trapping the chemical in the detective's mask. Fitzsimmons also tried to pull a fallen officer into the mob. A widely shared photo captured Fitzsimmons with a bloody face after encounters on that day. The 39-year-old will be sentenced in February.
Authorities have released the identity of a man in custody that passed away Sunday at the Penobscot County Jail. According to the Sheriff's Office, 50-year-old James Pearsall of Old Town was found unresponsive in his cell early Sunday morning during routine checks. Efforts were made by Bangor EMS and staff to save his life, but they were unsuccessful. He was being held on drug charges with a $10,000 bail that had recently been reduced from $40,000. The incident was not a result of any kind of altercation and at this time does not appear to be suspicious.
Well, Bruce Poliquin's campaign is accusing incumbent Representative Jared Golden of taking money from a group that recently red-listed Maine lobster. Poliquin's campaign says Seafood Watch's executive director donated directly to the committee to elect Jared Golden, and that Golden also benefited from donations the director made to the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. According to Federal Election Commission filing records, the donation was for roughly $667. farmers. And it was made 2 years ago in late June of 2020 during the last election cycle. Poliquin's campaign accused Golden of, quote, showboating as a champion for the lobster industry. Representative Golden's campaign senior advisor commented saying, quote, if Bruce Poliquin thinks thumbing through campaign finance records is the best he can do to support Maine's lobster industry, that should tell Mainers all they need to know about what kind of congressman he'd be. By the way, Jared received a $2,900 donation from the founder of the Conservative Club for Growth. What's next? Will Poliquin claim Golden is too right-wing for the 2nd District? End quote.
As Election Day draws closer, Maine's gubernatorial candidates took the stage at the Augusta Civic Center to speak about the agriculture industry with Maine farmers. Matthew Jurancic has more.
Gubernatorial candidates Sam Hunkler, Governor Janet Mills, and former Governor Paul LePage took the podium in Augusta Civic Center Tuesday morning to talk about the challenges Maine farmers are facing and offer potential solutions. Each candidate was given an hour where they gave opening and closing remarks and answered questions from the moderator and Maine farmers about the plans for the industry.
I think we're leading the nation in addressing PFAS contamination. I've dedicated more than $100 million to test and mitigate PFAS-related impacts. And in particular, this past legislative session, we established a $60 million fund and an advisory committee to support farmers who were impacted by PFAS.
While Governor Mills focused on how she's working to support the industry, former Governor LePage put his focus on educating the younger generations about agriculture and criticizing the Mills administration.
We need to identify those students that really have a sense for wanting to work with their hands. I would have done two things. I would have taken $150 million and told the farmers, grow more food. It's taken $250 million, gone to every oil dealer in Maine and said, you charge them the same price as last year, and you send the balance of the bill to the state.
Maine farmers had the chance to speak out about their needs, even at times showing frustration.
We need margin. We need to keep our young people here.
Independent candidate Sam Hunkler says there needs to be a change in leadership, one that works with the farmers.
I am so disheartened by the way things are that I want a difference, and most people do want a difference. They don't know what that looks like. I decided I was either going to jump in or drop out, but I want change.
Despite tensions running high at times, Agricultural Council of Maine President Julianne Smith says the candidates provide good insight.
Each answer that all the candidates provided really gave a clear indication of how much they know about agriculture and what they will do during their administration to invest in what Maine farms need.
Matthew Jurancic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
All right, and as we turn our attention to the outdoors now, just on another nice fall day out there today.
But not fall-like temperatures. I mean, towards the height of the afternoon, it was starting to feel a little summery.
Yeah.
Some areas touching the 70s, where I live included.
Yeah.
And so, now we're looking for that cool off and maybe those fall-like temperatures overnight. And with a little more on that, let's take a first look at our forecast.
Thank you so much, Beth and Peter. And our first weather today is brought to you by GRF Real Estate Company. Temperatures, let's get right into those really nice and warm temperatures all across the state. We saw 60s, 70s, 71 here in Bangor, a couple of 60s closer to the coast. But overall, we all had some above average temperatures, so a really nice and pleasant day. Those warm temperatures will be continuing the next couple of days. Wednesday, 67 degrees, a bit cooler by Thursday, but then a warm up right in time for the weekend. Almost 70 by Saturday before we start to cool off back into those 50s by Sunday, and then once again into beginning of next week. So partly to mostly cloudy skies outside right now. A couple of rain showers, especially in the eastern part of the state. Same thing to the north, right at that border of Canada. We do have a couple of lighter showers. All of this is very light and scattered, and it will be moving out of the area overnight. Temperatures will be above freezing. We'll actually have some mild temperatures tonight in those upper 40s. Beth and Peter?
All right, so we'll be looking for more detail on that a little bit later on, but definitely at least a cool overnight.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, firefighters from across the state took part in an extensive training program.
And Canadian residents are receiving help from Maine utility crews in the wake of Hurricane Fiona. We'll have those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
Offensive and divisive. That's Paul LePage's legacy. But it's not just what he said as governor. It's what he did. LePage slashed funding for cancer screenings for women. He refused to invest in clean energy, kicked over 1,000 seniors off their prescription drug program, and even opposed funding to Meals on Wheels. So, if that's what Paul LePage did last time he was governor, we can't send him back. The top funder of A Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
Do you have leaky pipes? Are you planning a plumbing job? Is your heating system working right? Are you designing a plumbing project? Then contact Harley's Plumbing and Heating Plus.
If your toilet will not flush, Harley will be there in a rush. Furnace bit the dust today. Harley crew is on the way. Harley Plumbing, Harley Heating.
990-2200. Call now.
Harley!
Call or visit online.
Our Medicare supplement and drug coverage is so expensive, we're barely keeping up with our bills.
My husband and I were in the same situation. So I got some help from the Senior Planning Center. They were able to show us some high-quality Medicare Advantage plans that saved us a lot of money.
The Senior Planning Center? Tell me more.
They have helpful agents all over the state. Real Mainers helping Mainers. Give them a call. The Senior Planning Center. They were there to help when it mattered most. I'm glad I called them. You'll be glad too.
In Maine, it's always buying season. And at Thornton Brothers in Lincoln, we carry new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams for your buying season. Here at Thornton Brothers, we'll help you find the right vehicle specifically for you to suit your lifestyle. As they say, the proof is in the performance. So come on over and test drive a real vehicle from a real dealership, or place your order with us and see why it really is buying season here in Maine. Thornton Brothers, Main Street, Lincoln.
When it comes to finding the right health insurance for your small business, it can feel like you're the only one looking out for the well-being of your team. But when you partner with a nonprofit health insurer who not only understands your needs as a business owner, but puts your people over their profits, it allows your business to keep doing what it does best. With a team who can take comfort in knowing they're cared for, people over profits. Now that's a novel idea. Get a quote from your broker or visit healthoptions.org.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everybody. Firefighters joined forces in an intense battle today, and as Craig Colson reports, the important training they're receiving in Bangor will benefit their neighbors back home.
On your mark, get set, go.
Fire crews from all corners of the state are being put through their paces.
Keep that hose as low as you can, and this is your leverage point.
Learning everything from how to properly handle a fire hose to rescuing a person who was trapped in a burning building.
Okay, keep going, you're almost there.
Ready, left. 26 firefighters from 23 departments are taking part in the training course offered by the Penobscot County Fire Chiefs Association and Eastern Maine Community College. Held at Bangor Fire Department's training facility, it allows them to tackle realistic situations without the danger.
These folks are certainly, again, they're working very hard. They're learning new things. They're showing up every single day, ready to work.
What are you thinking about when you're doing this?
How much I love my job.
You do? Tell me about that. What do you like about it?
I like being able to help people and make a difference, and this job gives me every opportunity I can to take it.
We've heard a lot in recent years about how volunteer fire departments have struggled to find enough people to fill the ranks. One thing this special academy will do is make sure they have the skills they need when they do hit the streets.
Absolutely, the shortage of firefighters and police and dispatchers and public safety in general is critical. This is a solid way to get a start on it for sure.
These fire crews will graduate from the 13-day course on Friday, returning to their communities ready to serve.
It doesn't matter, men, women, whoever you are, we need more people. There's definitely a people shortage, so it doesn't matter. We need them all.
In Bangor, this is Craig Colson reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
It will be a very long recovery for many Canadian residents in the wake of Hurricane Fiona. They're receiving help, thankfully, from Maine utility crews who are assisting with the massive cleanup. Many homes are destroyed and thousands have been left without power. Jason Ensley from Central Maine Power is among those working in Nova Scotia to restore power there. He says they've received a warm welcome.
Well, the people are bending over backwards to help us, stopping us anywhere they go, walking over out of their way to thank us, asking us if they can do anything for us. And say, no, of course, no, we're here for you.
Jason says the Maine crews expect to be in Nova Scotia the next couple of weeks to help repair poles and lines to help get the lights back on.
Yeah, so they're definitely doing some very important work up there in a very hard-hit area. It's nice to see that folks are coming out and actually thanking them for being there, though. That's really neat.
Absolutely, yeah. And like you said, it's just great for them to show that support, even though there are neighbors, it's really important to make sure that everyone has access to those resources that they need.
Absolutely. Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, Firehouse Subs has donated more than $118,000 to fire and police departments in Hancock and Penobscot counties.
And in sports, Maine men's basketball gets ready to tip off another season. We'll hear from players and new head coach Chris Markwood about what lies ahead. That story right after the break.
When it looks the part, but isn't the real thing, that's fool's golden. Jared Golden promised he'd be an independent fighter against Biden's spending, but then cast a deciding vote for Biden's newest spending bill that experts say will hike taxes $1 billion on those making under $50,000. Golden may think we're fools, but his recent vote shows Mainers what he's really made of. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When outdoors, some people like it hot and some people like it cold. However, when indoors, most people like it comfortably warm. Choose a Baderas boiler from McCusick Petroleum Company to provide you with comfortable and efficient heat. They also offer sales and service on many brands of furnaces, boilers, and water heaters. McCusick Petroleum Company delivers oil and LP gas to homes and businesses throughout the Pequot region. If you'd like more information on pricing or service, call or stop by our office in Dover Foxcroft.
I've been having foot pain for at least 10 years. The first day I put the key boot on, I could tell the difference. My pain level has been so much better. I was amazed. The key boots made it possible for me to actually walk without pain. I can go shopping, walking around the store without wanting to cry. I mean, I feel like dancing sometimes. The key boots made all the difference. Very happy with it. Comfort shoes, it's just changed my life.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
Mainers work hard, but Joe Biden's inflation is making life miserable. Heating oil costs are crushing Maine families. I'm Bruce Poliquin, and for too many, this means choosing between gas, groceries, or freezing. Biden and all Democrats created this mess, and they're making it worse. Congress needs more Maine common sense, not more spending on those who won't work or more taxes on those who do. I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message because Maine needs a congressman who will stand up to Biden and help Maine families.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Body Graphics Tattoo and Piercing Studio. Coming soon to our new location at 27 Bangor Mall Boulevard. Call 478-7856.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Well, he's not in Maine anymore, at least right now, but he is still making headlines up here. On Monday, On3 Recruiting released their rankings for the class of 2025, and Maine saw a familiar name at the top. Cooper Flagg was ranked the nation's #1 player in the class, according to the recruiting mogul. It's On3's initial rankings for the class of 2025, and it sees Flagg ahead of Cameron Boozer, someone he's familiar with through the AAU circuit. They've gone up against each other a few times. There are going to be plenty more rankings released between now and the time both of those players graduate, but right now, Flagg at the top. He's one of 3 5-star players on the list as well. And he and Ace are getting ready to take the court for their first season at Montverde Academy as we speak. All right, let's stay on the basketball stage now. A new era is about to tip off for Maine men's basketball, with first-year head coach and former Black Bear Chris Markwood and the team opening up practice this week, gearing up for tip-off in about a month.
For us right now, where this program is, it's all about building habits, and good habits, winning habits. And then if we can do that on a daily basis in practice, and stack one good day after another, then it's going to put us in the best position to have the results that we want to have.
Chris Markwood and Maine men's basketball converged on the pit Monday afternoon for their first official practice of the season.
It feels good to just have that, It might be a little harder than some of the returners are used to. It might be a little bit longer, but, it feels good to get at it, again.
Even just today, I was just super excited waking up, get out of bed and get here right first thing in the morning, get prepped for a really good day of practice.
In just over a month, the first-year head coach and the Black Bears suit up for a tough non-conference schedule, heading to Nebraska to tip off the season and also getting to play teams like Ohio State.
We got a really tough, challenging schedule, which we're excited about. We're going to go out and play tough teams, Nebraska, Ohio State, Akron, really good mid-major teams in the Northeast as well, in preparations of setting us up to play our best basketball once the conference comes. We're not really worried about results right now. We're just worried about building winning habits.
It's a really good learning point for us, because it's probably the hardest schedule that we're probably going to have. Even as returners, I know for myself, this is probably one of the hardest schedules that we've had. So, it's all just a learning curve.
For Markwood, their season started a long time ago, with a bunch of the team being on campus for the summer months, and those early practices were huge. Now, day one doesn't really feel like day one.
I thought those sessions in July, August, and into September have been really beneficial for this group in terms of laying the blueprint and the foundation for what we're going to need to move forward with.
And, perhaps like he was in his heyday, the Markwood-led Black Bears are going to come to play with a little bit of edge to their game.
We're trying to get a little bit of grit, a little bit of nastiness to us. We got to compete at a high level. So, we're looking for a team that's going to execute at a high level on both ends, going to play selfless together basketball, and fight every single night we take the floor.
All right, that is all the time we have for sports. Here is Conrad Sipinski with your full 5-day forecast. Conrad?
Thank you so much, Tyler. Our main weather today is brought to you by Thornton Brothers. Thornton Brothers in Lincoln. Buy a new or used Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram vehicle from us today. You make the drive, we'll make the deal. All right, some partly cloudy skies outside today. Not a big issue, but there is some scattered showers, especially in the eastern part of the state. This is all very light and scattered, so nothing to really worry about, but definitely something to talk about. We do have a pretty big low-pressure system located right now in Canada, but it is very, very slow moving. So that's why these scattered showers have been lingering the last couple of days, but it will be long gone very shortly. By overnight tonight into tomorrow, most of this will continue to move out of the area, so expect a couple of scattered showers across the state, most of this on the lighter end, before it finally starts to move out by tomorrow. Now let's talk about some of these temperatures. So last couple of days we really had some mild temperatures, some 60s, 70s all across the East Coast. But take a look at the Midwest, the upper Midwest. Lots and lots of chilly temperatures. And then to the west, a warm up even all the way to Canada. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Don't worry. Those warmer temperatures will continue to move east, and it will make it into our area. Today, a beautiful day outside. Partly cloudy skies, temperatures around 70 degrees earlier in Bangor, a couple of 60s by the coast, but still really nice and pleasant above average temperatures yesterday, and same thing today. Wind speed's not a big issue right now. We do have a couple of gusty winds closer to Bar Harbor, coming in with a 9-mile-per-hour sustained wind, 8 miles and 9 by Bangor, so not a big issue, gusting near 20 miles per hour. The winds won't be an issue in our state, but now a whole 180. Let me mention Hurricane Ian right now. Category 3 major hurricane, 120 mile per hour winds, headed straight towards Florida. So if you have any vacations planned the next couple of days or family out there, please warn them this is a major hurricane. Definitely have some tropical storm warnings out in the area. Some hurricane warnings are also posted for some of those western parts of the state of Florida. So be careful there. Here in Maine, not looking too bad. Temperatures will be above average tonight. We'll hover in those upper 40s with those partly cloudy skies, but get ready. There will be some dense fog overnight tonight, especially by those morning hours. So leave a little bit extra early for your morning commutes. And be careful out there. Look what happens tomorrow, though. We really warm up into those mid to upper 60s. Lots of partly cloudy skies. So tomorrow is the day to go out and about and really enjoy those outdoor warm temperatures. But our extended forecast outlook does show even warmer temperatures moving in, hey, right in time for the weekend. Saturday, we'll have partly cloudy skies. Temperatures close to 70 degrees before a cold front comes by overnight and really keeps things cool by Sunday. Beth and Peter?
All right.
Can't find much to complain about in that 5-day.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
weekend's looking great.
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, so there's still more to come after the break. Stay with us.
I was just telling these guys about Jared Golden. He's a Marine who puts country ahead of politics. And then there's Bruce Poliquin. He's a multi-millionaire Wall Street banker who went to Washington, took all that money from the insurance industry, and voted to let them increase premiums. Worse, Poliquin said he wants to raise the retirement age. He's for them, not us. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The signs of summer are here. The sun's out for the evening commute. Whistles and clapping echo from the ball field. And a day at the lake brings the family together. Valley Home Services offers whole home comfort, serving northern Maine to Portland. With the push of a button on a Fujitsu heat pump, you're ready for whatever summer brings. Humid days or cool nights, come home to comfort with Valley Home Services. Home is our middle name.
Whenever Maine Wood Floors wants to know the weather, they log on to foxbangor.com. Whether you're searching to add beauty with a new hardwood floor or need to restore your old one, Maine Wood Floors is your hardwood flooring expert in Mid-Coast Maine.
Tonight, communities still recovering from Fiona as Hurricane Ian moves quickly toward the Gulf Coast. The possible tornadoes and historic storm surge. Tracking the storm. More Americans turn to World News Tonight with David Muir, the most watched newscast on all of television.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
Don't believe the lies from Washington's special interests. Jared Golden's a different type of Democrat. I respect that Jared served in the Marines. Jared's a friend of law enforcement, and we definitely can trust him to keep our communities and families safe. Jared is standing strongly against defunding the police.
This endorsement was not a given. Congressman Golden's earned it.
Mr. Golden will definitely fight for us and be in our corner and have our backs, absolutely.
I'm Jared Golden, and I'm honored to approve this message.
Welcome back. Fiber optic provider GoNet Speed is planning to expand into the Bangor area. The company hosted a grand opening of its new Bangor offices on Tuesday. President and CEO Richard Clark says GoNet Speed is expanding its high-speed fiber internet network to more than 11,000 locations in the area.
So in Bangor and Brewer, for the first markets, we'll be one of the only fiber providers, at least in the short term. I'm sure other people will build it, but we are going to try to be first.
GoNet Speed service is already available in Brewer. Construction in Bangor will begin sometime this winter. The company expects to create more than 25 new jobs through its expansion efforts over the next few years.
Well, several organizations are now better prepared to respond to emergencies. The folks at Firehouse Subs have donated more than $118,000 to fire and police departments in Hancock and Penobscot counties. The money is being used to purchase important equipment. The recipients were on hand at the Bangor restaurant today to celebrate.
Said budgets are very tight. It makes it hard to replace equipment or obtain equipment in a timely manner or even at all. Without the outside funding such as the Grant Foundation here, some of this equipment may not be available today. So we're very grateful for that.
Among those receiving grant money are Bangor, Brewer, and Milford's fire departments to purchase special rescue boats. Carmel and Bucksport also received money to purchase everything from touchscreen tablets to a defibrillator. Alrighty.
Yeah, great show of support there. You hear so often about staffing issues being a problem. So any support they can get definitely is welcome.
Staffing issues, and then you hear about how tight budgets are, especially smaller municipalities. So when there is an equipment need, it can be very, very hard to fill. So
yeah, I love to see businesses stepping up to help out their communities.
Absolutely. Yeah. Alrighty, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us. From everybody here at ABC7, take care and have a great night.
Good night, everyone.